It's Coach Leslie Nguyen here, hoping that you are making the most of every moment. I'm continuing my mini series on relationships, and I would like to ask the singles this question. Really think about this. Um, how much, and first I'll speak with the ladies, how much do you value a man's looks when it comes to finding someone who is compatible with you, meaning your personality, your spirit, and your purpose? How would you compare that in importance to his looks? Okay. And the reason I ask this is because I'll be perfectly transparent. Okay. So I'm in my 40s now. And what they say is so true. And it's something that I've learned years ago, but I do remember being in a place and having this mindset in my maybe like early 30s where those things were always important to me. But I can honestly say that when it comes to looks, that's less important for me now in my 40s than it was when I was like in my 30s. It doesn't mean that I don't want someone who's taking care of themselves, or at least someone who's making the effort to. But what I've just become even more aware of is the fact that when you are looking for a partner, you come to the realization that, at least for me and for many women, you can come to love, you can grow in your love for someone, even if at first you were not as attracted to them, because you are really dealing with that person's spirit from a day-to-day basis. And I was never the type to be like, I wouldn't say that I was superficial anyway. And no shade at all. No shade at all. I don't mean anything by this. But in my, how do I say this? So in my previous relationship, I wouldn't say that the person was like, I wasn't really that very much attracted to him, but I loved him because of his personality and because of the way I felt when I was with him. So that's why I would say that I don't believe I'm superficial. And like I said, I think that's the case for a lot of women, at least, among those whom I've spoken to. It's not always a situation where, the person that you love is necessarily the person who, when you saw him, you were like, oh yes, it's him. But over time, getting to know this man, you came to love him. And it doesn't matter if someone else walks by who the world might deem as more handsome, or that you might even deem as more handsome, because when you really love the man that you're with, you love the man that you're with. And so that was my past experience, okay? So what I'm saying is that, so yes, I already knew that fact, but as I've gotten older, it's moved down a little bit even more as far as priorities. It doesn't mean that I don't want to be attracted to the man, but it's not as high on that list as it was when I was like in my 30s, because I just have become more appreciative of the fact that the man that is coming to me is a man whose purpose lines up with mine, whose personality complements mine, and whose spirit is able to mirror mine and mine mirror his. And that is where I want my love to grow, in my future relationship. Let me know what your thoughts are. And if you feel as though, maybe you can't relate to that, it's cool. But I'd love to have this dialogue. I'd love to start this dialogue with the ladies and with the gentlemen. Now, I will say that one thing that I do still value, though, is someone, okay, who loves themselves and is able to project far enough ahead to know that they have to take care of their health. It doesn't mean that they have it all together. They don't have to have a six pack or anything like that. But I do still value the idea of being with someone who is at least moving in the direction of making better health choices, what he puts into his body. You know, is he at least going out on walks? Is he doing things to improve, you know, his life overall, physically and mentally? Because if he's doing those things, then that's telling me that he's planning for our future. You know, personally, if, you know, I would prefer to know that the man, this, whoever this man is, that he's at least working on improving his health, even if his health is not where he wants it to be, because that means he's not trying to leave me as a widow 5 years down the road. You know, we have to think ahead, and we have to not be selfish and say to ourselves, in my opinion, if I'm marrying this person, or, you know, if I'm thinking of marrying in the future, then I'm going to plan to be here for that person for as long as I can. And it's not feasible to say that you're doing that if you're not taking care of your body. So and I don't think that that's superficial. I think that's just more just being realistic. Like, we have to take care of ourselves. So in addition to that, right? So the thing is, I know that men are visual. They're more visual, right? At least sometimes. I wouldn't say always, but again, and maybe it's just because I'm looking at it from my perspective, okay? Because I was not the type of person who was like, oh, he has to be tall, or he has to, you know, have a certain physique, or he has to be a certain complexion, or his hair has to be like this. Or, that was never me, okay? I was like, is he nice? Is he intelligent? You know, does he want to get to know me as a person? What about me does he like? Does he think I'm funny? Does he feel calm with me? Like, those were the things that I valued more, even when I was younger. But I know that's not everybody's, you know, perspective, and that's cool. But yeah, that's just how I've been. I don't know if it's because, like, I used to be what people would consider a tomboy, you know? And so I think growing up, I was used to feeling overlooked, I guess, because I wasn't like the prissy girl and with all the frills, and her hair is always like, you know, in other words, I wasn't the one maybe who drew the attention of guys. So I kind of got used to not really being noticed. And I think that helped to shape my perspective, where I was able to look deeper when I looked at boys and at young men, and now at men. I don't just look at what my eyes see. I want to get to know who this person is, and see, you know, what makes them cool, what makes them unique. And I think that I'm thankful that I grew up with that perspective, because it allows me to look deeper. And as I mature and as the years go by, I believe that has just allowed me to really set the tone for the relationship that is to come, for my future marriage. I look forward to hearing from y'all. I'd like for those of you who to see this post to put down what your top 3 deal breakers are in any potential relationship. Love and blessings to y'all. We'll talk soon.